Hi, folks. Welcome back to Pop Pop Fizzle. I'm Jeff.
I'm Heidi.
And we are joined, as always, by our DRDs. We didn't have this one out the first time we brought the DRDs out. As you can see, we've got 1812 here. Heidi has no idea what that means.
No. All I know is that it's the color of France. So something happened in 1812 with these DRDs, but I don't know what.
So Heidi will learn what that means later on down the line. We've got the Dominar with us as well, hanging out next to Heidi, and we're going to jump into another episode of Farscape. Now, this episode is called Rhapsody in Blue. I vaguely remember elements of this, but not much. Swiss cheese brain coming in handy, at least as far as reactions go.
Yeah.
And you have no idea.
No idea other than the summary that the particular...
Why are we reading summaries?
Well, I mean, it's just... I would have seen it in a TV guide. Once upon a time, there was an actual magazine.
What is this thing you speak of?
Yeah, there's an actual magazine that would tell you what was going to be on TV for the next week.
Yep. And sometimes they'd be wrong. Sometimes I'd read those things and get all excited
And
about what was going to happen, and then they used the wrong blurb, and the episode they were describing wasn't going to be for like 3 weeks or something.
There would always be there'd always be something like a little bit wrong with it, or it could be in the newspaper. You know, that's something that people used to actually have delivered to their delivered to their homes.
Is that like where they take the webpage and print it on paper? Mm-hmm. Cool.
Exactly what they do.
All right, we're going to jump into this thing and watch another episode. Now, last time we watched, there was some smooching between Aaron and Crichton.
Yes.
There was some sadness on Dargo's part.
Yes.
Because he almost didn't save them, but also by saving them, he may have wrecked his only chance to find his son. Dargo's pretty hard on himself. He's hard on other people, for sure, but he's equally hard on himself, I think. So, yeah, I feel bad for the guy. Rigel showed that his conniving and all of that can be used for good, so that was cool.
Yes.
And poor Zahn had to deal with all of the nonsense.
All of it.
Especially with Rigel trying to drive her absolutely batty.
Yes.
And then, and even Pilot got a funny moment where he put a stop to all the
arguing,
the chaos with a well-timed screechy sound. So that was good.
Yay, Pilot.
So we're going to jump into this episode and find out where the crew of Moya gets off to next and see what we think about that. You watch along with us. Now, this is not a market substitute. We're watching on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
So show some support over at Amazon Prime. Watch the show watch the show yourselves first and then watch this with us. Or if you want to watch along for the full episode with us, you can do that by hopping over to Patreon. That link should be around in here somewhere. Or down in the description. That's fine, too. That's true. And you can just sync us up with Amazon Prime and watch along, and we'll watch this thing together. We can do that, too. The other thing we need you to do is if you like content like this,
hit the thumbs up.
And consider subscribing to the channel. We just passed 350, and that is entirely thanks to you guys. We appreciate it. I know that that's nothing compared to other channels on YouTube.
The big channels out there.
And I got to tell you, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'd rather have you guys and do this thing slowly and naturally and have you along for the ride than to do something crazy to get noticed on YouTube and be bound to the crazy. I just like you guys. So
yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate that. And for all the comments. We love getting comments, and you guys have been so good to leave comments every time we drop a video. I love it.
We've been so pleased to see all of those comments. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, after this reaction's over, you can jump down the comments and keep that conversation going there. Let's see what we're in for. You ready?
I'm excited.
All right, here we go. You ready, boys? Ready? Okay.
I'll always be there for you.
Lie.
Oh. Oof. Whoa.
Easy.
Just an excuse to have him in his underwear.
They just wanted to get that whole boxer versus briefs thing out of the way.
Boxers.
Nor did I terminate it.
That's my underwear.
What does this say?
Calvin.
Then they're not yours.
This is strange. I looked at my wife last night.
We're receiving a transmission.
Salutations. I apologize for the deceit, but we so want to meet you. Pa'u Zotazer.
Pa'utalin. Your use of deception continues to trouble me. Perhaps our many cycles of reclusion contributed to an error in judgment, but we could think of no other way of leading you here.
It's so perfect, my teeth ache.
Oh, that's from all the sincerity.
Why did you lure us here?
Search yourself, Zan. You know why.
I do not. What I do know is you invaded my soul last night and you left me bitter.
I mean, look at this. You ever seen one of these before? What would you call this?
A little
Just a second ago.
The trigger pod.
A little leap.
What? You haven't... But no reaction from you. Look at this. This is a ship, Aaron. And it's incredible. It's also a little creepy.
Look around, Zan.
Okay? Almost everything we see...
It's just
almost
Cardiff.
every day is brand new to both of us. And it's worthy of a response.
Oh, that's probably the wrong show.
Mm-hmm.
You went too fast, didn't you?
That is why we must have your secret. Before we are all consumed.
I have no secret, darling. I am just me.
Share with me. Save me.
I play a lot of Among Us.
And in return, I will show you paths to abilities beyond your comprehension.
She's always the blue one, though.
Yeah. No, this other girl seems sus.
You altered his memory.
Help me to understand your powers, and I'll help you to understand mine.
Put him back and make him as he was.
The sanctity root. Poison to your hand. Death. Vigilance, peacekeeper. Confusing times. Do not touch the root.
I have been driven from my homeland by your kind. I will not be driven from here also. It is you who must go.
You're wearing a lot of lame to be acting so tough.
Everybody's lost in this corner of the universe anyway.
John.
All who wonder are
Last
not
I dreamt
lost.
the other night. I did. I too was reminded of the last person I ever loved. Open your mind.
His capacity is well below even a level 1.
He will understand.
He's basically a puppy.
You must.
This is the weirdest Blue Man Group performance I've ever seen. And that's saying something.
Avenging the lives you have ruined. The world you put at risk. Zan!
What the hell was that?
The crime I was imprisoned for.
So you don't date much, I'm guessing.
You killed the guy you were having sex with.
I need you, John. I need you.
For what? Target practice?
I am adrift. As the past is sweeping over me, I must rely on the judgment of someone I trust. I love to be told, John.
And these people, Talene and the others, they want you to kill again?
Not by my own hand. They want me to help them regain power.
You tell me you're gonna give a piece of your mind, a piece of your soul to one of these people? Am I just being stupid here, or does that sound a little crazy in its own right, Zan?
It's kind of crazy.
It is crazy, John.
Their minds are weak. Preoccupy them all as you would children. Attack them with their own hopes and fears.
Who the hell are you?
You don't recognize me?
Oh, I recognize who you're supposed to be, Alex.
When the darkness rises up from inside, that is normal. It's when you reach down to pull it up that the noxious warning
Easy.
sound.
Easy, Grandpa.
You ready?
My pulse rifle just fell apart.
What are you talking about? Just pick it up.
Yep.
Jothy. Jothy.
Peacekeepers, pilot, seal all the exits. There are peacekeepers on board.
What?
What are you doing, Talene?
She's taking.
I'm sorry, Zan. Forgive me, Paul, but I must have all of what I need.
Come on, Zan. Kick her metaphysical butt.
I spent nearly 17 cycles tortured by my own dark impulses, feeling insanity's grip ebb and flow. I don't have the strength to start again. Before
This isn't about freedom. It's about power.
I think this one is the blonde he keeps seeing.
Yes.
Same actress.
You know, your friend really is a remarkable woman.
Whatever you've done to my friend, you put it right.
When am I going to become more important to you than Zan?
I never gave you that.
Just rewriting his memory.
Mm-hmm.
He'll know something's fishy after he kisses her and comes back and there's like blue makeup on his face.
You're quite lucid today, Father.
Well, I would take her right out of the will.
Yeah.
I will join in unity with her one more time.
You know, you're full of it. You're gonna kill her, aren't you? Just like you did your lover.
You were always the most clever one on Moya, but I will not miss you.
Zan, just stop thinking about Tully. I want you to think about yourself for a little while.
The urge to give retribution is intoxicating. I have missed it.
I'm not here, John. I've never been.
You're messing with your mind. You flew with me.
I'm just a very soft figment of your imagination.
I release you from what is not true.
Yeah, that was cool, and because it's the same actress, easy to do that.
I say we go down there and shoot them all. Oh, Dargo almost stepped on me.
Your Excellency, you were never any smaller than your current stature.
If you thought so little, why choose unity with me in the past?
Because you were too foolish to look deeper and question me. You were easy and pleasurable.
Gross.
Oh.
The fusion of our two minds will surely kill you.
Not if you're careful. I hear you can protect me. If you want to.
I see no purpose to this union.
Depends how your microbes handle that one.
I must admit, I have always wondered what could possibly go on in there.
Oh, my. What is that?
Unity. We must separate now, John. I don't know how long I can protect you.
No. There's something in me that you need to see. Look at yourself as I see you. Gentle, giving. That's you, Zan.
Zan, I've got a horrible hangover. You? There she is.
Aw, there she is.
Thank you, John.
Easy.
How did you block him from me? Unity also gifted me with a part of you, Tarlene. I am now a Pa'u of the 10th level, able to protect.
What are you doing?
The vestments of a Pa'u. It feels like a shroud I am no longer worthy.
Seems a shame. Waste all those years of training.
Hardly wasted. They were the best cycles of my life.
All right, that was it for another episode of Farscape.
Yay.
Heidi, your thoughts?
I thought it was really interesting to find more Delvians. Just, you know, I get it that they're not quite on the same wavelength as Zan, but, you know, it was really interesting to just see and have a little bit more backstory about, you know, why Zan was in prison, you know, what people on her planet were like, what they're fighting for, what they want from life, you know, and just kind of a little bit about their, you know, their religion. So it was really interesting just to kind of get really immersed in it. So that I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
I've always wondered though, like if they're blue everywhere, why is the inside of their mouth and like the corners of their eyes pink?
These are not questions you need to ask.
I know, but it's just like it's a biology thing. If they're going to be blue, then they should be blue.
Right.
Oh, okay. But I guess makeup wise, that's just not easy to do.
Very difficult, I would think. Yeah.
So,
I like this episode. I feel like it's more of a character-centric episode, obviously. No craze, no ongoing storyline here, but it again deepens the relationships of our crew and gives us an image of who Zahn was before she came to be aboard Moya, and clues us in a little bit about what her journey was, trying to come out of that madness for as many years as she struggled with that. Also, just the notion of just the little snippets of, we're continuing to have Dargo yearning to be reunited with his son.
Mm-hmm.
We're continuing to deal with Erin seeing herself only as a peacekeeper. So if I can't put my weapon back together,
what am I?
What good am I?
Yeah.
If I can't fly the ship, if I can't read these controls, what am I? So even though we didn't get too far into those things, it was still nice to have those things touched on. You could have just thrown anything at them,
yeah,
and had it not matter to who they are as characters. But
poor Rigel thought he was smaller than he was.
Yes, but that notion of those fears being personal, and what that does. I mean, everybody struggles with fear. In the time that we're living in now, of course, we'll look back on 2020 in a few years, and we'll, for all the sadness and all the difficulty and all the frustration that came with it, there'll be things that we can pick out that, that one good thing or those things happened to me that were good in 2020. But sometimes it's hard to see the forest for the trees when you're in the thick of it. And, I feel like these characters are they're coming together so slowly, but their relationships, their interpersonal relationships are becoming more and more clear to them and to us the further we get into this. So even when they're in these bad situations, like, this was not fun for anybody, but who Crichton is to Zan became so much more clear because she could have asked anybody to take that role. She could have asked anybody to help her make the right decision on something.
But she trusted him.
Right, but she trusted him to do that. And then he was the one that could get through to her because of the way that he sees her. And so that did something for her as a character, but it did something for us too. It clued us in on how he sees Zan and what good could come from that it could free her from, and this is a real life thing. See, this is what I love about genre fiction, whether it's written or in television form or movie form, whatever, that you can have all the trappings of whatever kind of story you want. You can have the sci-fi, the space elements. You can have supernatural, ghosts, demons, monsters. You can have, a mystery or a thriller or whatever drapings you want to be on the story. But the story only works if you've got characters that you care about.
And that can carry it.
And that can carry can carry meaning in their part of the story, that they're dealing with things that you can connect to as a person. And it is a very real thing for people not to see themselves the way that other people see them. Because we get discouraged, we get down on ourselves, kind of like we were saying about Dargo in the last episode. He's hard on himself. He's hard on other people, but he's really hard on himself. Whereas Zan could sit there and say, you saved them. You did a good job. You did the right thing. Mm-hmm. But he couldn't feel that. Likewise here, Zan couldn't see who she really is until John could show her how he sees her. Just had a conversation with a friend yesterday about, you see yourself a certain way. Things get hard. Things get difficult. They get hard to navigate. But I know who you are. You're the friend that always comes running when I need help. When things are wrong in my life, you step up, right? That's who you are to me. And that I feel is like what John did here. Got her to see, the way that he sees it. And I thought it was perfectly worded. It didn't need to be overly drawn out. It didn't need to be a longer sequence than it was. It was a perfect encapsulation of, because of her ability to share to share minds, to have their souls entwined, for her to experience and see exactly the way that he sees her. And what a great thing that would be. I mean, obviously there's some scariness in there too, but how great would it be if other people could just take a glimpse or see a snapshot of themselves the way that you see them? Because we all have down days. We all have hard days, especially 2020. We all deal with anxiety. We all deal with frustration. We all deal with all kinds of emotions that we're not used to having to deal with because of the situation we find ourselves in. How cool would it be if we could just show somebody a snapshot of, this is how great I think you are. I can't say it. There aren't enough opportunities to say, and I don't know. I'm talking too long here, but I always encourage everybody, and I'm encouraging you. Nobody's promised tomorrow. 2020 is hard, and it's been rough, and nobody's making light of that. But even when things are going well, even when it's not 2020 and there's not a pandemic on the loose, you're not promised tomorrow. So take today and tell the people that you love them. And spend time with people and be kind to people. Be compassionate. Give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Those things go such a long way. And you may not have tomorrow to make it right if you do all the wrong things. So just take today and do something good for yourself and for somebody else. I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope that the next few, I know we're getting closer and closer to the season finale.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
And I'm really liking how they're, it's kind of like dominoes. They're setting up all our characters kind of to where we really feel like we know them.
And this is just season 1.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about watching all the rest of this. I'm going to be very sad when we have to end watching this with y'all, because it's been really great, and it's just, we're like 13 episodes in. It's been so great.
I know it feels like it's been a long ride already, and it really hasn't been.
I think it's because nowadays we're so used to series with 8, 10, or 13 episodes at the very most. So for everything else, this would have been a season finale, because of 13 episodes. So this has been longer form. I actually really miss the seasons that had 22, 24, 26 episodes. So I'm really glad that we're getting into this older series.
Unfortunately, not all series are written as well as this is. And, the sort of compressed storytelling that they're doing here, yes, we're getting some Monster of the Week, Problem of the Week sort of episodes, but all of them, as we've continued to say, are furthering the through line of these characters. We're getting to know them better. They're getting to know each other better. And I think that's really, really setting us up for when the engine re-engages into, more arc heavy things that we are going to, we know these characters so well already.
We will believe their relationships. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything that they trust about each other, we're going to be there because we saw all of it happening. So I'm very excited.
Now, if you like that and you're on board to continue watching this with us, be sure and hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I looked at our analytics today, and I think we've got about 27% of the people watching these videos are subscribers.
That's amazing.
We appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you.
And but if you're not subscribed, jump on board so you don't miss any of these things. We're reacting to other shows. Heidi just finished up the first season of Deep Space Nine.
I did.
She'll be jumping into season 2 before too long, probably after the holidays or so.
Yeah.
And then we've got other shows. We're still putting out Haunting of Bly Manor. We have finished BBC's Class and the first season of Stargirl and the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And we're going to do some fun things on Patreon. That'll be Patreon-specific things as well. So if you want to join us on Patreon, that link will be down in the description. That's it for us this time. We'll be back with the next episode of Farscape, probably wearing the exact same clothes because we're really just going to dive right into it.
We are.
And we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.